What is a sign of low intelligence? Having your hand be bigger than your face.
As someone who tests IQ as part of his job, I find an odd trend as strongly predictive of low to borderline IQ, being able to read fluently but then struggling to paraphrase what was read.
Making strong opinions on topics you don't understand.
Go through my post history and you'll get an idea. Not being able to entertain an opposing thought without losing your shit. If you ask someone to examine things under a different perspective and they start getting angry, you're talking with an idiot.
Believing that 5G caused coronavirus. Constantly talking about how smart you are. It's an insecurity.
People who think they are always right.
Being afraid or ashamed to say, I don't know, when they don't know.
Believing conspiracy theories for every little thing.
Bragging about passing a dementia test. I went out with a woman last year who couldn't calculate a 20% discount. I'm not talking internally, I'm saying that even if she had a calculator she wouldn't know what to do. She was a primary school teacher.
People that think screaming at you and calling you things that are not so nice, thinking it will magically change your whole view. Can't stand it at all.
Getting sucked in MLMs.
You wear the mask below the nose. Why'd you get married? We'd been together for 4 years so.
Being on Love Island.
Earth is flat supporters.
Having low intelligence. Installing Reddit.
Repeat the same mistakes and blame everything else but you. Not once or twice, but for years and years, without improving 1 inch and still blaming others.
People who confuse their opinions with facts.
Being an anti-vaxxer or anti-masker.
A lot of the answers on here are pure rubbish and more about personality and approach to life than actual intelligence. You can be a person with a low IQ and still be skeptical and curious about things, just as you can be intelligent and closed-minded. An actual sign of low intelligence would be something like low processing speed, trouble with basic arithmetic, low reading comprehension, etc. Not being sure if mayonnaise is an instrument. Successfully identifying an elephant and thinking that makes you a genius.
Refuses to wear mask.
They cannot articulate why they believe something, they just believe it.
Not knowing how sheep's bladders can be employed to prevent earthquakes.
Mob mentality. Just one of many examples, but mob mentality is a surefire sign of low individual intelligence. Edit. I make a comment decrying mob mentality and end up starting a flame war. Oh, the tragic irony.
Bragging about your intelligence.
What does intelligence mean?
Naming your kid with a misspelled name just so it's unique, or Nevaeh, or any boy's name ending in the Aiden sound. Closed-mindedness. Emotional reactions to minor things. Violence. Denial of facts, data in favor of preconceived notions. When feelings greater than facts. Fuck KKKK those people.
I believe it is harder to find low IQ people out of a batch. You can say strong opinion on limited information, but that could be arrogance. You can say follows random traditions, but that can be complacency. You say cannot handle electronics, but that can be an Apple user. The more I go through life, the more I see we measure intelligence incorrectly.
Bragging about intelligence. Specifically people who aren't psychologists who talk about IQ. Lack of self-awareness, how your action has consequences and its impact on other people.
I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, but having extreme unwavering political views on both sides of aisles. Right and left. To the point that everyone who does not agree with every last piece of opinionated vitriol that spews from your mouth is an evil sob who deserves to be hung, drawn, and quartered. There is no compromise. No trying to view the other side's point of view. No diplomacy. No debating. No humanity. Sadly, this is something we are seeing the drastic rise in lately. The far right, and the far left, and heaven forbid you have moderate views. In my opinion, and it is just that, an opinion, not a true blue fact, these sort of people have rather low intelligence. They are unable to think outside of their narrow-minded box. They think they are 100% right, and anyone who doesn't agree deserves to be taken out back and shot. To me, that is a sign of being unintelligent.
Getting upset when you disagree with someone. Assuming you're oppressed, hurt and a victim and it's never your fault.
Believing in Wyoming. Wyoming does NT exist? They believe whatever they read online.
Not knowing the difference between then and then, you're and you're, there and there.
Insulting people when you can't win an argument. Don't listen to a different opinion.
Getting caught masturbating frequently.
Continually failing checks to see through illusions.
Refusing to acknowledge scientific studies that go against their biased opinion of something.
Having a big wedding even though you can't afford it. Or in general, want lavish luxurious things while you really can't afford it. Because you deserve it. Posting regularly on art, sex or art relationship advice and still not being able to spell masturbate correctly.